You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Water Cooler Edit with myself, Chris and Rich. And well, you might notice something different. For those of you listening, you can't really see it, but I'll tell you what exactly is going on. It is Movember, where we generate awareness for men's health, and I've decided to take on the challenge of growing a moustache. It has taken far too long and the progress is very minimal, but at least I've achieved a life goal.
Are you saying that you started last November and this is basically how far we've got?
Saying I started in last November is probably incorrect. I probably started in November 2020 to grow this. That's about the progress that I've made to get this far.
I think it's looking good, man. Handlebars action, bit kind of Mexican-esque, it's good.
A lot of people have asked me to shave it off and I've said no because I want to keep it because I've always wanted to grow one.
Yeah, keep it going. See what it's looking like come the 30th of November.
Hopefully it looks all right. But besides that, on this episode of the Water Cooler Edit, we'll be discussing a way to smartly share real estate and properties from agencies and agents to end users. We'll also be discussing something that is quite close to my heart as well because, well, in a few days' time, we'll be having plenty of motorsport action here in the United Arab Emirates. We'll get to that later on. Let's first talk about SmartShare and how it works. So Rich, we were talking about this morning. So This is now a new way to smartly share properties that are available on Bayut. But it's not just one singular property. For example, if I want to now look for a property, say I want to look for a 1-bedroom with 2 bathrooms in Silicon Oasis that's about 1,000 square foot, give or take, instead of just getting one property from the agency, they will send me what they have from their agency and the agent themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, it's good from a property seeker's perspective, and it's certainly good from an agent's perspective as well, right? So what will happen, when a customer shows an interest in a property on Bayut and a lead is generated, which will go to the agent connected with that listing, they'll receive an SMS or a WhatsApp that will have an interactive link within it. The agent can then click on that interactive link and share properties from their own personal listings or their agency's listings back with the property seeker. The property seeker will receive those properties and can respond in real time and basically say, yeah, I like that one, no, I don't like that one. So it increases the interaction, right? And it increases the chances ultimately of a sale. Right?
Yeah,
that's
it's not just interactive and within like real time and everything like that. It actually allows those who are maybe looking to buy a property or rent a property that are looking in a certain area that they've never been to before. It gives them options. So, for example, if I'm looking for something that's near a school, I'll get those options, and I'll get an option that's near a supermarket, or I'll have the best of both worlds. The agent will be sharing in real time all of the apartments or villas that kind of match the criteria that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And this is all done in real time. And then you can even send a message back, like you said, it was, interested or not interested, which I think is a really great feature. Because again, if you don't know the area or you don't know exactly what you're looking for, or you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit different, then the agent acts in real time. And then you also act in real time, making your buying or renting decision that much easier.
It's going to cut out a lot of time wasting as well from both sides, right? Because the property seeker will be able to share, it will become more defined exactly what they're looking for quicker. That makes it easier for them. It makes it easier for the agent as well, because they have a real idea of pretty much exactly what the property seeker wants. Therefore, we get closer to a preferential outcome for everyone, right? So, SmartShare is smart.
Yeah, it's a very smart way of sharing, and it's very smart.
It's well named.
Yeah, and it's a smart way of learning about the next property that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Before buying or renting.
Absolutely. It's one of a number of features that were introduced at B3DXB this year, when we had Search 2.0 as well, and some others. And I'm sure at B3DXB next year there'll be more innovative features on the way.
And now the other topic that we're going to talk about is I'm going to get this right now, is the Gulf Historic Dubai GP Revival. GP stands, of course, for Grand Prix. Now, they had their first event last year over the National Day race weekend, and it was an absolutely phenomenal event. I was there, and I'm so glad I was there, and I'm going to be there for the second time that it's happening here as well. So what happens, it's 40 years, basically, of the golden era of motorsports. Now, of course, a lot of people will probably come in the comments and say, well, that's not right. You know, the 50s was better because that's when Formula One originally started. Well, the great thing is about the Grand Prix revival here is that we're not just doing Formula One. We have Formula One, we have Group C, we've got Formula One from both the 70s and the 90s, and then we have GTs and prototypes. So we're going to see cars that have never visited the region ever before, and they'll be racing right here at the Dubai Autodrome. And I'm so excited for this event.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look, motorsport is very much your domain. You know, you love it. I have an interest in it, but not to the same level. But I can just see from what I know about this event that if you're in any way interested in motorsport, you're going to love it. It's like a Hall of Fame, isn't it?
Essentially, yeah. And the great thing is that it's not just for motorsport fanatics, it's also sort of a throwback in time as well. And there's so many family-friendly activities that are going on. So they have live music, there'll be food trucks, there'll be so much going on there.
Classic car show. There's a classic car show.
Classic car show as well. And it will be over 3 days. So you've got the Friday, the Saturday, and Sunday with the 2 races on the Saturday, Sunday, with practice taking place on the Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can go down into the paddock as well, right? So that's usually off limits, but you can go down and actually be around these classic Formula One cars from the 70s, Formula One cars, I think it's Formula One cars from the 90s and 70s. You can actually be around these cars, take photos with these cars, if you're whatever. It's it's pretty cool, right? Don't people dress up as well?
We did last year, I remember. I don't know if it's going to happen again. I should have really bought my outfit today. I just realised.
I was going to say, well, if you were dressing up, what were you going to? I mean, what does that outfit look like? Paint a picture for us.
Del Boy.
Del Boy,
there
nice.
You go. For those of you who don't know, this is a sitcom from, when is it? The 80s, I think it was.
80s and early 90s from the UK. Only Fools and Horses.
There you go. That's what it's called. Yeah. So it was the hat, and then the
kind of cap, the cheese cutter cap type.
That's
thing.
The one.
Yeah.
And then some people walk around in suspenders. There was white shirts, everything like that, and it was very kind of timely. But I think now, because we're going over 40 years, it's going to be very difficult to pinpoint exactly what generation to dress up as.
Yeah, because it covers the 70s, 80s, 90s, and noughties. So if you dress up from any of that, that's quite an eclectic mix of
you could have
motorsport fashion.
You could have the hats, then you could have a hat from one generation, the shirt from another, pants from another, and then the shoes from the 90s.
You have to rock some massive flares from the 70s.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Some serious flares, maybe some platform shoes. It's
from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, and then the cat thing.
Maybe I should consult you when I need to go and dress up for that.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to help put your outfit together as long as I don't have to wear fancy dress myself.
That's okay, you don't need to do that. Yeah, of course, it is very exciting, and obviously one of the biggest pulls so far for most people would be that one of Schumacher's Benettons will be there. Now, obviously Michael Schumacher is one of the most accomplished Formula One drivers in the entire world, and he's a household name.
He's a legend.
So if you want to see one of his cars, that's not a Ferrari, that's a Benetton, it will be there.
Yeah, because that's mid-90s, or maybe early 90s, actually. He was with Benetton, wasn't he? And he did win world championships with them as well. He won world championships with everyone. I think he's, the man, as I say, the man was a legend. That's really cool. I mean, if you like your Formula One, that kind of stuff's gold, right?
Yep. I mean, I'm going for Group C and the GT and the prototypes, because that's my thing. I really love the prototypes from that generation, because they were these wild things that you would never see on the road because they're prototypes, essentially, but they kind of paved the way for future innovations of road cars later on. I think I'm going on a tangent here about cars again. This is bound to happen.
This was always going to happen. When we do the subjects for this podcast, there was always a chance that Chris was going to go on tangents. 100%. It's what happens.
It's the Gulf Historic Dubai GP revival that would take place at, of course, the Dubai Autodrome, the home of motorsports here in Dubai. If you want to know any more about the topics that we discussed here on the Water Cooler Edit, you can of course check out the My Bayut blog, which is Bayut.com/MyBayut, where you'll find loads of articles about things to do, places to see, and many more things about Bayut as well. Thanks for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.
You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.